Hello everyone, it's the Gamebox Turtle. Today we're going to be doing Quicksilver versus Expert Collector 2 or the Escape the Museum. So, thematically speaking, Quicksilver would just be able to run right out of this museum. But let's see if he can actually do it in the game. So setup for the collector is put the library labyrinth environment into play, which we have done already. And this enables us to, as an action, deal ourselves a face-down encounter card to remove 5 threat from the main scheme. We do have a Justice deck, so I don't know if we're going to be using this a bunch, but it's nice to have. And then we have set aside the Command Ship Modular Encounter set. Alright, so we're flipping this over to the Missing Milano. This comes in with 7 threat out of the 11 necessary to complete it. And if it's completed, we lose the game. And Force Interrupt. When the last threat is removed from the scheme, advance to stage 2A. The players win by advancing. So basically, these main schemes are going to come in with a bunch of threat, and we need to bring them down. And we actually can't defeat the Collector, because when the Collector would be defeated, we remove threat from the main scheme, and then we flip the card over to a less powerful version of himself, where he does no bonuses. In this one, he has 2 attack and 2 scheme with a bonus for the stage number of the main scheme. In this one, it's just 2 attack and 2 scheme. And then it flips right back at the end of the round. So, interesting. I think a Justice deck will be perfect though for this, and let's see if Quicksilver can get it done. So he's coming in with 6 cards. Wow. Alright, so we have 2 double resources here. I don't think we need the Under Surveillance actually right now. Bishop is always good. Wakan is always good, but these, I think we want to discard these, keep the doubles, and see if we can get some more upgrades, because we want to get his upgrades out super quick. So we're drawing 3 more cards here. We have a maximum velocity in Overwatch, and I'm making an entrance. Okay, not amazing. I think we're gonna, as an action, discard 2 cards, Overwatch and making an entrance from our hand, and then draw 2 cards. We gotta turn the tide and always be running. Okay. Flip up to hero form. So when I use a basic power, one of my thwart attack or defense, I get to ready automatically. So I think first off, we're gonna use a strength to get an accelerated reflex. So I have +1 defense. And then we will Genius to maximum velocity, and we'll get +2 thwart until the end of the round. And then we're going to thwart for 3 to put this down to 2. And then we automatically ready, we will thwart for 3 again. To put that down to 1. And then we will ready and attack for 1. I don't think we want to thwart yet, because what's going to happen is we'll go to the next stage, which will come in with a bunch of threat, and then we'll be in a super dangerous position. So we want to thwart it at the beginning of the turn, not after our turn's already over and we can't do anything else. So we're just going to do 1 damage and draw up to our hand size and ready. Okay, we got Speed Cyclone, which is always nice. We got a Ready to Rumble, which I don't think is supposed to be in the deck. I don't know why that would be in the deck. Yes, I think that's supposed to be an Endurance, not a Ready to Rumble. See, yeah. The endurance looks just like the Ready to Rumble. And I must mixed them up because they both have Ms. Marvel on them. See, so that would be an endurance. That is my bad. Okay. So we have an endurance. That's nice. We got speed and superpower training, which I think we want to get out pretty quick here because that gets us another upgrade. One of our personal upgrades. So pretty nice hand. Let's go here. We got one threat in the main scheme. And the collector is attacking. He gets plus X attack, where X is equal to the main scheme's current stage number, which is 1. So he has 3 attack and a boost. I can just defend and then ready right after I defend. So I will defend for 2 because I have this plus 1 defense. And he is attacking for 5. So I take 3 damage down to 6. Which is fine. I can just get endurance. I ready automatically and get an encounter card. Servant bot with guard and patrol. Okay. So I think what we want here is use speed to get superpower training. And then thwart it using endurance to get making an entrance. So we get plus 2 thwart to thwart for 3. Remove all of it from the scheme. We can then ready, and we can get our no friction upgrade. So yeah, we're going to use speed to get superpower training, which comes in with 3 threat. We're going to thwart with Quicksilver, who only has 1 thwart, but we're going to use endurance to play making an entrance. If your hero makes a basic thwart, it gets plus 2 for that thwart, so I get 3 thwart to completely thwart off that. And I heal 2 damage because I thwarted all the threat off of it. And I may search my deck for an identity-specific upgrade and put it into play. And that would be friction resistance. Which is a resource generator for a strength resource. And after I ready, I get to ready friction resistance, which is absolutely bonkers. So I got that out, and then Quicksilver readies automatically here. I'm gonna use that to spend a strength resource and stun 1 enemy, and that enemy will be the collector. And then Quicksilver will attack the servant bot for 1. Alright, I think that's fine. We were able to heal up. We were able to get friction resistance out. And I believe I shuffled this. Yes, I did. So, dropped 5. Hyper Perception gives us plus 1 thwart. Oh, and we got all of these are upgrades. Man. That's less than ideal. We got build support. We might be able to get a little more upgrades than I might expect out of this. We'll see. We go 1 threat in the main scheme. The collector is stunned, so he does not attack. And the servant bot attacks for 1. We'll just defend that, and we automatically ready after defending. So no damage. And we get 1 encounter card, which is the Huadarian Monarch Egg, which has hinder 2, so 2 per player, so 5 total, 3 and 2. It has an acceleration icon, but when it's defeated, the player who defeated the scheme may ready their identity. That's kind of nice. So, how do we go about this? Build support has three cost of lesser three or less. So I think what we're gonna do is use friction resistance to play Def Focus. We're gonna use Def Focus and Avengers Mansion to play Hyper Perception. I now have +1 thwart. I'm going to use Quinn Carrier to play Build Support. And I'm going to thwart for 2. And then I'm going to ready. When I ready friction resistance. And then I'm going to thwart for 2. Which does build support, and I may search my deck or discard pile for a support with the cost of 3 or less and put it into play. That support will be a Quinn Carrier. Which means I have 2 resource generators I can't use. But I think that was the best I could do. So hopefully we'll survive. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine here. And now that we have all these resource generators out, it's going to be good. It takes a second for Quicksilver to set up, but once he is set up, he's wild. Alright. Really nice hand there. We're going to accelerate. So up by 2, which means we're going to go up to 5. 3 plus 2. And then the collector is going to attack for 3 plus a boost. We will defend. He's got 1 boost, so 4 damage. I have 2 defense, so 2 damage. I ready automatically. And then I'm just going to take the hit from the servant bot. Okay. We get 1 encounter card. Another servant bot. Alright, so servant bots are doing guard and patrol, which means that defeating them is gonna be rough here. Or not defeating them is rough, because we can't thwart the main scheme or damage the collector. We haven't got our +1 attack event either, so I think what we're gonna do is one way or another to search the encounter deck for a side scheme and reveal that side scheme and draw 3 cards. So we have Magical Teapot. This player who defeated the scheme may heal 4 damage from their identity. We've got Philosopher's Stone. The player who defeated the scheme may draw 2 cards. Or the player who defeated the scheme may play a card from their hand, reducing its cost by 3. I think the heal 4 damage one is the best for this scenario. Alright. So enters play, it hinders 2, so it has 5 on it. It's a hazard icon, but I think I'm going to be able to get rid of it fairly easily here. Let's see, we get to draw 3 cards now. Always be running, Heroic Intuition, and Serval Industries. Okay. So that's perfect, because I can play Heroic Intuition and double time. and double time to get 5 thwart. And then we'll be flying. Still don't have our +1 attack though, so we're going to play Heroic Intuition. So now we have 3 thwart. We're going to use Quinn Carrier and Friction Resistance to get double time. We're going to get Depth Focus and Friction Resistance, have that get double time. Oh, wait, double time is not what I thought it was. Double time is choose 2 of the following, may choose the same option twice, deal 2 damage to an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Oh. Okay. Well, that changes, maybe changes. I'll just double time and deal 2 damage to Servant Bot. Defeat him. I can choose the same thing twice, so I'll deal 2 damage to the other Servant Bot. Okay. Then I'm going to attack the Servant Bot for 1 to defeat him. That readies me and Friction Resistance. And now we're flying. We're going to use Quinn Carrier to get Serval Industries. We're going to use Overwatch. On the Magical Teapot. No. On the huge Hodgerian Monarch Egg. We're going to thwart for 3 off of the huge Hodgerian Monarch Egg. And discard Overwatch to also take 3 off of the Magical Teapot. We're then going to use Friction Resistance to play and always be running to ready Quicksilver, and that readies Friction Resistance. Quicksilver will thwart for 3 to defeat the huge Hodgerian Monarch Egg. The player who defeated the scheme may ready their identity. And that goes in the victory display. And then I will thwart for 2 off of the Magical Teapot. The player who defeated the scheme may heal 4 damage from their identity. I will use Friction Resistance to play always be running to ready Quicksilver. And he will thwart for 3 off of the main scheme. And technically Friction Resistance is ready. Wow. All right. So resource generators are flying here. Serval Industries. I don't think we want to flip to Alter Ego. I think we're chilling. So we're going to drop to our hand size and ready Quicksilver. Got another one way or another. We got Nick Fury, Turn the Tide, always be running. Nice. We're going to put 1 threat in the main scheme. The perfect amount for me to thwart with. And Collector will attack. I'll defend for 2. He, again, has 3 and a boost of 1. So 4. I defend for 2, so I take 2 damage. And he's going to throw out an encounter card, which is... I have you now. You are stunned. And the Collector attacks you. I am ready. Because I automatically ready after I defend. This is less than ideal. But I'll defend again. He is again attacking for 3 and a boost of 1. So 4. I defend with 2 again, so I take 2 damage once again. Okay. And I'm stunned. So there's 4 side schemes in here. One of them's here. Two of them are in there. So I can play one way or another one more time on this cycle of the deck. One of these is a +1 attack. And I have a making an entrance. Yep, we're going to get one way or another. Grab that last side scheme. The Philosopher's Stone, which when defeated, I get to draw 2 cards. I'm down. Hinder 2. And we shuffle. Alright, and I get to draw 3 cards. We got Double Time, Scarlet Witch, and Turn the Tide. Alright. So lots of good stuff here. Still waiting. One of these 2 cards is my +1 attack upgrade. I think we're going to play Nick Fury to get that. So Quinn Carrier, Friction Resistance. I don't think we need Double Time or Scarlet Witch. So 4 for Nick Fury. And we will, with Nick Fury, draw 3 cards. When he enters play 1, 2, and we shuffle this and deal ourselves an encounter card. Alright. Gotta reinforce Senu. First off, we're going to use Def Focus to play and always be running to ready Quicksilver, which readies Friction Resistance. Then we're going to use Maximum Velocity and Friction Resistance to play Reinforce Sinew. And then we will thwart, even though we're stunned, we're going to thwart for 3. Ooh. Actually, before we get Reinforced Sinew, no, it's too late. I don't remember how I did it. So yeah, we're just gonna use Turn the Tide to get making an entrance. So I'm thwarting for 5. 2, put Philosopher's Stone in the victory display. I get to heal 2 damage because I defeated it, and draw 2 cards. And I get to ready after using a basic power. I gotta always be running and energy. I will attack to get rid of the stun. I will use Friction Resistance to play and always be running to ready. I will attack for 2. Nick Fury will thwart for 2. And I think we will be ready to advance the main scheme next round. We're going to keep the energy. I don't know if we need it. We have all these upgrades out. We have all these resource generators out. If we got Avengers Mansion would be the only reason for it. And I have all the other doubles in here. So I'm going to discard the energy and draw 5 cards. No doubles, but under surveillance, we can't always be running bishop endurance. We can get endurance out, will be nice. Taking some hard hits here. We're just taking, our defense isn't enough to limit the damage Collector's doing. Speaking of which, he's attacking for 3 and a boost. We'll defend with Nick Fury this time. And good thing too, he got 3 boosts, so 6 damage. We'll defeat Nick Fury. And we get 2 encounter cards. First one is Star Shark. And Star Shark does have Quick Strike. And his attacks deal indirect damage. We will defend for 2, so we only take 1 damage. We automatically ready. And we look at the next card. Impossible Geometry. In Sight 1. That's fine. You are confused. That is less fine. If you're already confused, choose and discard 1 card you control. Okay. So he's just stalling here. But that's okay. I think we want to get bishop out, endurance. We haven't always be running, so we can. I think we're gonna attack. Attack for 2. And then that readies us automatically. Oh, actually, before that, we're going to use friction resistance to play endurance here. To get +3 health. Then we'll attack for 2, which readies us, which readies friction resistance. Just get that endurance out there real quick. Then we're going to use friction resistance and Quinn Carrier to play Wiccan, or Wiccan, or whatever his name is said like. And then we'll attack for 2. Drop him to 4. We'll use Def Focus to play Always Be Running, so we ready, along with friction resistance. And we are 1 resource short of getting bishop here. So I guess we can just play under surveillance. So main scheme now has a max of 15. Okay. Quicksilver will attack 1 more time to put him at 6. And then Wiccan will thwart. And after he thwarts, we discard the top card of the encounter deck for each boost icon. Discarded this way to deal 1 damage to an enemy. What are the chances it's a 0? We haven't seen any assaults or advances, so it might be a 0. And that would be awful. I think I'd rather just actually do the 1 damage to Star Shark and defeat it. No, we defeat it, and he's not going to overthreat the main scheme. He's not going to overscheme, so we'll do that. And you know what? I might want to flip to Alter Ego. Because we're basically built out. He's not going to, especially with under surveillance, he's not going to do the main scheme here. It'll set us back a little bit. But it will also shuffle some Always Be Runnings back in here and get us even more set up. So we're going to flip. Serval Industries, we're going to get 2 Always Be Runnings shuffled back into the deck. And there you go. Now we drop to 6 card hand size. And ready. All right. We are confused. Okay, he puts 1 threat in the main scheme. And he schemes for 3 and a boost, and it was 0. And that will make it go up to 7. All right. So he's got 7 and an encounter card. The Beyonder's Blazer. Touch the enemy with the highest scheme, that would be Collector. Hero action, place 2 threat in the main scheme and spend 2 resources of the same type. Discard this card. And that is giving him extra boosts. Okay. That's a little bit annoying. I'm thinking here I could play Scarlet Witch. And then draw some more cards with superpower siblings. If I use that to get Scarlet Witch. Or even I could use Quinn Carrier, Genius, to get Scarlet Witch. And then we'll use Serval Industries to shuffle those guys. Back into the deck. So we just got a deck full of Quicksilver events. Then we're going to discard 2 cards and draw 3 cards because Wanda Maximoff is in play. We got some One Way or Another's and Avengers Mansion. Yeah, there's no more side schemes in the deck, so the One Way or Another's are useless. The Avengers Mansion might be nice. We're going to recover to full health of 12. Then we're going to go up to Quicksilver. I think we're going to get Avengers Mansion. One Way or Another, One Way or Another, Speed Cyclone, and Friction Resistance. Will give us Avengers Mansion. We'll draw a card. Strength. Oh, perfect. Oh, that was I couldn't have done that better. Def Focus. We'll play Always Be Running so we can ready. And then we'll thwart for 3. Puts it down to 4, which automatically readies us. And then we will, or no, we can't thwart. So we'll attack for 2. My bad. We'll attack for 2. Drop him down to 5. That automatically readies us. And then we'll thwart to unconfuse. We'll place 2 threat in the main scheme. Place 2 threat in the main scheme. And spend 2 resources of the same type. This strength. To discard this card. And then Wakan will thwart for 1. And discard the top card of the deck and deal 2 damage to an enemy for each boost icon. That'll be 2. So I'll do 2 damage to the Collector. And then Scarlet Witch will I could thwart. Con takes constant damage. I could thwart if I get a 2 boost. I could defeat Collector. I mean, if I attack and get a 2 boost, I could defeat Collector. And flip him over. Which will give us some respite here. So she's going to attack. When she uses one of her basic powers, we discard the top card of the deck. And for each boost icon discarded this way, she gets +1 to that power. So she attacks for 0. So only 1, which is rough. So she does nothing. Or she does 1 damage. I don't think I can... It's 8 and the max is 15. So it's only halfway. He's not scheming. There's only 1 advance in the deck. I could use the Library Labyrinth to deal myself an encounter card. And remove 5 threat from the main scheme. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Deal myself 1 face down encounter card. Remove 5 threat from the main scheme. And that is limit once per round per player. Okay. Now we're drawing up to 5. We've got a nice built out area. We have Avengers Mansion as well. So we have an increased hand size, essentially. I think we have all our resource generators, so now it's time to just start going. He's going to go up by 1 to 4, and he's going to attack. I think we'll just defend with Wakan. Attacks for 3 and a boost of 1, and give Collector a tough status card. So that's 4 damage. Defeats him. Collector gets a tough. And we deal ourselves an encounter card. First one is Advance. Okay. So he's scheming for 3 and a boost of 1. So that kind of counteracts my whole deal myself an encounter card, but to remove 5, but that's okay. Impossible geometry. Insight 1, so we're back to the start of the last turn with threat. And I'm confused. Man, I really don't like this whole confused deal. Okay. So it's our turn. First things first, Avengers Mansion is going to draw us, making an entrance. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to thwart to remove this confuse. Then we're going to use friction resistance to get always be running to ready. So we now have 2 activations. And I think I'm just going to fly. We're going to def focus and friction resistance to get double time. Oh my goodness, I keep thinking double time is maximum velocity. Okay, so what this is deal 2 damage to an enemy or remove 2 threat from a scheme. I'll just remove 2 threat and 2 threat to get 4 threat off a scheme. Okay, I thought I was doing more with this turn than I am. I haven't even suffered damage, so making an entrance doesn't do anything. In that case, I'm just going to play speed. Quinn Carrier, making an entrance, Overwatch. I'm going to get speed. Alright, speed is going to thwart for 2. Or we could just deal ourselves an encounter card. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to deal ourselves 1 face down encounter card to remove 5 threat from the main scheme. That's the only time we can do that. When the last threat is removed from the scheme, advance to stage 2A. Alright, we got that one done. When revealed, put the set aside Milano support from the ship command encounter set into play or under the first player's control. Oh, nice. Got another resource generator. When the last threat is removed from the scheme, advance to stage 3A. The players win by advancing. Okay. This comes in with 11 threat, and its max is 15. And again, we lose if we complete. This doesn't say anything about the rest of his encounter set, right? Oh, not this. But this says Milano support from the ship command. Yeah, so I just get the ship. The encounter set doesn't come in yet. Okay. And then speed has not activated yet. But now he will. So speed will thwart for 2 to drop that down to 3. He will ready after he thwarts, and he will thwart again for 2. And then I think Scarlet Witch. I could either attack with Quicksilver for just automatic 2. Just attack and then ready and then attack, because I haven't auto-readied yet with his super speed. And then we could have Scarlet Witch. Yeah, we're going to do that. He's going to attack for 2 to get rid of the tough. And that readies him. Readies friction resistance. Not that we have anything to play. Quicksilver will then attack for 2 to defeat him. When Collector would be defeated, remove 3 threat from the main scheme. So that's a 5, goes down to 2. And flip this card instead of defeating him. He cannot be defeated when the round ends. Flip this card, then set Collector's hit points to his printed hit points. So he just has 2 attack and 2 thwart. That's fantastic. We will then thwart with Scarlet Witch. And if this is a 3 boost, we advance. So hopefully it's not. It is a 0 boost. Once again, it's only 1 thwart. You know, I don't think I've ever been able to get Scarlet Witch to work. Also, under surveillance is discarded because we advanced the main scheme. But I don't think I've ever gotten Scarlet Witch to like hit more than a 1 boost that I can remember. So, oh well, for Scarlet Witch ally. Okay, we're done. We're ready to advance to the next scheme on the next turn. So we're drawing our 5-card hand that will advance. So we're getting 3 encounter cards. Wow. So a hand of Quicksilver cards, which I'm not complaining because Quicksilver cards are absolutely bonkers once he's set up. We have 2 maximum velocities, which you can only play 1 per phase anyway. So we're going to have to use one. We won't be able to play both. Okay, and we dealt ourselves an encounter card, so we might need all this because of all the encounter cards we're about to get. But we have 3 resource generators, 1 like clearance card, and then a draw, character card draw. So we're fully set up. I don't think Collector has much of a chance at this point, but we'll see. He might have some tricks up his sleeve. He attacks for 2. I will just defend with Quicksilver and ready for 2. So I take no damage. And let's see what these encounter cards can do for us. First one is Servant Bot. Not a problem. Second one is Psionic Ghost. When revealed, you are confused. These confuses are nasty for sure. But I think we'll be alright. And another Psionic Ghost. You're confused if you're already confused. Take 1 damage. Okay. So a bunch of little minions. think we can take care of it. Especially since we are confused but not stunned. So that's all he's got. Little minions. Avengers Mansion's going to draw us a double time. Okay. So we're going to get rid of the confuse. And then friction resistance will always be running to ready. So to just get the confuse out of the way. Then here's what we're going to do. We're going to use maximum velocity and def focus. No. Maximum velocity and friction resistance to get maximum velocity. We're going to increase our attack by 2. So we now have 4 attack. We have not used our auto ready yet. So we'll use that now to do 4 attack, defeat the Psionic Ghost, auto ready. And then 4 attack to defeat the Psionic Ghost. We'll use friction resistance to get always be running to ready. Dude, the economy is unreal. Friction resistance. He's so fast. With that, we're going to try Scarlet Witch. Oh, at the end of the round, he's supposed to flip. Get 10 health. We're going to try. Scarlet Witch is going to do 1 and hope for a 2 boost card to defeat this Servant Bot. We got 2! And Shadows of the Past. How ironic. So 2, 3 defeats the Servant Bot. Scarlet Witch also is defeated. But, that was nice. Alright, and I think we can play both these double times. Speed is going to thwart for 2. And then auto ready, and then thwart for 2. To defeat Lost in the Museum. When the last threat is removed from the scheme, advance to stage 3A. When revealed, flip Library Labyrinth. Place 1 acceleration token on the main scheme. Shuffle the remaining cards from the set-aside ship command encounter set into the uncountered deck. Okay. So now the cards are going in. And he's got an acceleration token. And what is Museum Ship? Forced to interrupt when the villain phase begins, choose 1. Exhaust the Milano. Assign 2 per player of indirect damage among players. Or assign 3 indirect damage among players. Dang. Let's see if we can just thwart this completely. Comes in with 8. We can exhaust the Milano to remove 3 threat from here. And if there's no threat here, the players win the game. Oh, easy money. Alright, so where'd our hand go? Here it is. Double time. Yeah, we'll exhaust the Milano and the Quinn Carrier to play double time and remove 2 threat from a scheme and 2 threat from a scheme to remove 4 threat. And then, also speed is defeated. We'll use def focus and friction resistance to double time, and remove 4 threat. And so, there you have it. If there's no threat here, the players win the game. Quicksilver kind of did as expected. Just ran right through that museum. Not even phased a little bit. Took a second to set up, but once he was set up, he went flying. So, there you go. Quicksilver versus Expert Collector 2, Escape the Museum. Hey, before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what kind of content you want me to make with any of these 3 board games. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.